So hey there guys, I've just watched episode 15 of the final season of Attack on Titan. Jeez, what an amazing episode. The reaction is in the description, go watch it and go back here if you want to listen to the discussion. And the discussion starts right now. So that episode was a gigantic flashback and actually had some little parts of the discussion already included in the episode. But we're gonna look at everything again, just in case, because yeah, we need to do that. So I like this episode because, as I've said, Attack on Titan really likes to showcase different characters from different sides, and it's easy to hate someone, and it's easy to understand the same person. Just like with Kenny, he was a fucking killer, crazy, twisted guy, but I actually felt some sympathy towards him, especially when he was dying, and many other characters as well. You can see their darker sides, their brighter sides, their inner conflicts and stuff. The only character that's going kind of in the dark side is Eren, because you cannot understand what exactly the man is planning to do. Is he an evil guy or he's a good guy? Because at different moments in this anime, you see absolutely different person, but that's another topic. So the main topic of this episode was Zeke and his childhood, and yeah, it showcased that Zeke had no family basically, because he was born in the family of people who were completely dedicated to solving the problem with aliens. So the Grisha's plan initially was to take back the power of the founding Titan. And I kind of forgot what he wanted to do with that. They wanted the power of the Royal Titan, but what's next? I kind of forgot. But we all know how that ended. At least on the Marleyan territory, Grisha was taken, and we heard that it was Zeke who sold them. But now we can understand why exactly that happened, because as I've said, Attack on Titan uses children, a very weak creatures that it's very difficult for them to realize what they're fully doing, and they're just kids. They just want to play toys and be happy, and when kids are forced to do something like that, that's terrible. And that happened in our world as well, during wars. If you're a young kid that's being raised during war, you're not gonna have a funny childhood. So it's great for us, for the majority of us who's living now, that there's no terrible conflicts, and even maybe life is not perfect as you would like, but you're still kids, you're having fun, you're playing games, you're watching anime, goddammit. But Zeke wanted to do that, and he wasn't able to do that. His parents were completely crazy about changing the world, and again, I can understand them as well. You can understand everyone in this anime, but you just cannot support them to the end, because at some point, their good intentions, they turn into some bad actions in the end. So Eren, like, I wanna eradicate Titans, but now he's Jaegerist who's killing Zaklai and all that, and Zeke as well. He wanted to deal with the problem, but now then he was throwing boulders and killing Erwin and the team and Marlo, everyone, and was having fun from it, kind of. So even though this flashback showcased that Zeke wanted to do good, he was still doing a lot of terrible things. That goes to with Reiner and with Annie, with everyone basically, with every character in this anime, except for one, Carla. Carla did nothing, guys. She just died for no reason. But yeah, let's actually start looking, because I was just speaking without anything, without the footage. What's a very interesting topic to speak about is the plan of Zeke, of the, as they called it, euthanasia, or euthanasia plan, what you call it. I want to speak about that, but we're gonna get to that. So we started with Grisha and his wife. What was his wife's name? Dinah Fritz. So Grisha, Jaeger, Dinah Fritz, and little monkey boy looking at Liberia, their zone. So it is actually round. It's surrounded with a huge wall. It's placed in the middle of the city, though, which looks pretty weird to me, but they're basically living the same as we do. It is just, instead of evil titan who eat you, there are angry Marlians who hate you outside of the walls. But I mean, it's interesting. So we were living inside the walls, and there's no way to go outside of the walls, because if you're gonna go out of it, you're gonna be eaten or killed by the titans, right? But inside the walls, we were living kind of happily. We had like our little society with rich or not rich people, like products, and everyone was kind of happy, right? Families and all that. But Eldians on the Marlian territory, they're living a different type of life. They can get out of the territory if they have the entry or exiting permit, right? But they're not welcome there. And they're not gonna die, but I mean, you cannot call that alive as well. They're hated. But if they're gonna go back to their territory, there is no peaceful and happy society. There is a very grayish and dark place where they live. It's all negative, it's all depressing. Because they know what's up with them, with the world, with the whole situation. But we were living in our own little world, and we had fun. But we couldn't go out. They can go out, but they don't have fun. So both of us, and both they and us, we're not free, and we're not happy, because we have a lot of limitations, both them and the island guys. And that's interesting. So Eldians, wherever they live, it's not a happy life. The only Eldians that were living kind of good were family of Willy. I forgot what's his name. Tiber family. So since they helped with the war, they were privileged and they were very powerful. And those were Eldians that lived good. Others were living like shit, one way or another. And yeah, they showed Zeke. They told him that that's a bad place to live. We have to live better. I mean, brainwashing in action. And then nice old man enters the roof and says, Eldiajin, and starts saying bad words towards them. And of course it starts burning fire inside of Grisha, like it wasn't enough before. And I mean, this is pure racism. I actually think this is very stupid. the whole situation of hating aliens. Yeah, they can transform into giant monsters, technically, but it's not like everyone is transforming into giant monsters. Because even normal humans, you look at me, I look normal, right? But who knows? Maybe I'm gonna stop the video and then gonna kill someone after that, right? Each one of us may be a little monster in there. So them saying that, oh, aliens are bad just because they can transform into titans, well, you guys are also bad because you can be maniacs and killers and rapists and stuff. So it's stupid to hate us for that. I actually think that Marley is one of the out of the all sides of this conflict, out of the all people involved in that, all nations involved in that, I think that Marlians are the one to blame for all what's happening. We don't know the whole history. If that was actually true, that we were like using them and oppressing them so hard, I mean, if we were that bad, they would probably not even survive. But no, they're prospering, they're having good life, and they're a powerful nation now. And they're hating on us, they're hating on other nations. They are a very militaristic nation, which means that they're a priori they're not nice nation. They're I don't see anything good in them. The only thing they do is like always scream like, oh, in the past, in the past, oh, by the way, in the past, we live in the real world. We have to look at the future, not in the past. Of course, you have to remember the past, because this is very important. But you don't have to live in the past. And Marlians, they just do that. Aliens are not militaristic, both on the island or inside the Liberia zone. At least they weren't before stuff happened. And other nations around Marley, as soon as Marley got the Titan power, what they started doing, they started conquering everything around them. And as I've said, other nations and other people, you can see some good stuff in them. But Marlians, they're like beyond redemption. At least I haven't seen anything good in them. The only little thing they're using is that, yeah, we were oppressed before. But what the fuck? How about other nations? They had no issues previously. So, yeah, just Marlians, guys. It's all Marlians' fault. But again, people are people who are living in the Marlian territory. They're just citizens, and they may be brainwashed, but they do not deserve to die just because they think wrong. And this is a very difficult case for the plot of this anime to deal with. So yeah, then we saw Zeke training for the warrior, and we saw Mr. Tom. Forgot his surname, but anyways, Ksaver, something like that. And he later explained that, I think that may be true, because he lost his family and he saw his son in Zeke, and Zeke saw father in this man. He actually called him father. The real father. Just as I thought, they basically found each other. But then again, that exact man told Zeke to betray his parents. But the issue is that even if Zeke did not betray his parents, they would still be catched, because we saw that Marlian police, they were up to them. They knew, and they just give them some time, and they will find Zeke and all the restorationists, or what they called. So Zeke, just by doing that, he actually saved the lives of himself and his elders, grandmother and grandfather. While his mother and his father, well, As Sasha's father said, they just went too far into a fucking forest. And yeah, there was a big ass angry bear in there. And Zeke decided that he's a smart monkey. He's not gonna go to bear. He's gonna tell hunters where's the, go to the woods and stop these people. So at first, Zeke's betraying his family in when we saw that in season 3, that looked like dick move, even though it was clearly shown that he was brainwashed and he had no fun in his life. But here it's shown even more, and it showed little scenes from their lives, how Grisha was like actually a very, very fucking bad father. And again, as I've said, I can understand the man as well, because he went through stuff. But I think he was doing it too much. Because raising kids just to achieve your own goals with sacrificing them, that's not what it is. That's not how it goes. But then again, Zeke said to Aaron, but he thought that Aaron was the same, that Grisha was raising him and using him and all that. But no. Aaron was a very different case. Aaron was just born like that. He was basically destined to become who he became. And Grisha had no involvement in that. I think he learned his lesson. He just wanted to live and have family, and he had family. A nice family with beautiful wife. Fucking So yeah, then we see the grandmother and grandfather telling the Marleyan history about terrible titans attacking and eating everyone. And as I've said, I wonder about the real history, because history is written in the books, but what actually happened? I really wonder, because that may finally show us who's to blame for it. Because if Eldians were not that bad as Marleyans telling us, that's already enough to completely say. I mean, I hope I didn't mess up Eldians and Marleyans, but you get the idea. So, if Eldians were not that bad as Marleyans say, that means that Marleyans are complete dicks now. It's just they are the bad guys of the story. But if Eldians were actually doing terrible, terrible deeds, well, you can kind of understand Marleyans as well. And I don't think the real history is going to be told to us, because Sayama, I don't think he's going to go that far, because it's already twisted enough, and having some missing pieces of puzzle is very important to keep us guessing. And even when the anime ends, people will still have theories and guessings and arguments. And this is very important for every franchise, be it movies or books or whatever, to have that. So people can still discuss it, and it's still gonna be heard here and there. That helps to sell stuff. So Isayama is a talented author, but he knows how to sell his things as well. And the makers of the anime as well, with fucking cliffhangers. So I'm getting distracted like crazy, but then we see Zeke just wanting to play games with father, but father's like, oh, you finished earlier, so we can study more brainwashing therapy. And then he shows the same books and says like, no, it did not happen like that. I mean, the whole situation ended up, Zeke was not at fault when he betrayed his parents, because it was Grisha and his fellas that that just made too much noise and they were heard by others, by the police. So yeah, Zeke was kind of going with whatever Grisha was telling him. So the only issue was that Zeke wasn't able to become a warrior because he was not good enough. He just wasn't good enough, not physically, not mentally. He was trying his best, but that was not enough. Yeah, and then they play baseball. Tom Ksaver, his name. Baseball with the man. He says like, "Oh, you're throwing balls so good. Oh man, you're like talented. Yeah, no shit. So fucking talented. I mean, no. I have PTSD from his talent sometimes." And then Zeke enters the house and sees depressed Grisha screaming like. That was quite good voice acting, by the way, by Grisha, because there was like it felt really depressed. It felt like I overheard my neighbors, even though there's only girls screaming every time. But yeah, it felt like that, the same kind of feeling. And as I've said, Zeke tried his best to become better, but he wasn't successful enough. And so the man, the previous Monkey Titan, I wish we would see him in the form of a Titan, because I wonder how the monkey may look with other user. So he is kind of like Hanji. He's not a fighter, he's not a warrior type, he's a scientist type. He is the one who asks questions, and he has a lot of knowledge. He's gonna bring this later, but the whole gene changing thing, changing something in aliens' bodies so they can overcome illnesses. Wow, that's bioengineering basically. So he's interested in that. And then Zeke overheard about that Grisha is gonna be caught really soon. And Grisha is still very, very sad about Faye dying. It kind of changed his whole life, which is, as I've said, understandable. But as I've also said, this is his fault as well. Shouldn't go outside. And oh, that was funny. I just skipped. There was sitting. I looked at this frame, and there was sitting, and like boom. I mean, Zeke just disappeared. I was like, whoa, that was magic. The same frame, the man was sitting there, but yeah, Zeke just disappeared. So Tom suggested to tell about his parents, save his life, save the life of his elders, and it's difficult to tell, but I would probably do the same thing. So it's not like you have to judge him for doing that. He did what was the best. It was the best to do like that. Either they're all done, they're gonna become happy fucking titans, or at least some of them gonna live, and Zeke gonna live, right? So for him, it's cool, of course, because his mother and his father, they were like down to, I don't know, like I've completely turned on this idea of we have to do that, we have to steal the power. And I mean, Dinah, we kind of can understand her as well, because she knows about all that. She had the blood, and that's the other issue. They were using Zeke so patiently, but there was a reason for that, because he was a special child. He had king's blood in him. And I think they should have tried to make another child, just for, because it's good to have another one in case something's gonna happen to this one, right? Because they have the opportunity to produce. I mean, that sounds terrible, but they're producing a very powerful children, like King Eldian type, who can control the power of the Titans, if you're gonna use it correct. Oh yes, so rewriting memories thing also came. So, anyways, we got to that. After Zeke gave his parents to the police, Tom explains that the king, the one who has the founding titan, he can change basically inner structure, anatomy of aliens. I wonder how much he can change. Can he change them to, I don't know, to some other type of creatures? Can he enhance them, or just like little influences? I wonder how powerful that ability is. But what he said, that you can kind of control almost everything in their lives. And Zeke got quite an idea. And I mean, that thing. Subjects of Ymir can't bear children, I have such conflicting thoughts about that, but when you look at this whole situation, what's better? To destroy a whole damn world by stomping them, or to actually, without any blood, just let people live their lives until they die peacefully, and then the problem is done. To me, it feels like a very soft and gentle way to deal with the situation. The issue, though, is that this is genocide. People should not decide who's gonna live and who's gonna die. Especially when it comes to like huge nations. Not just nations, but whole races. And that's bad. That's ethical side of that, right? That's bad, but on the other hand, if people are getting born and their children are suffering, why to even bear children then? So this is a very, very, very difficult to tell if that's right or wrong, but I do think this is an interesting plan. And Aaron said, like, I'm gonna do that. So but the issue is that even if they're gonna eradicate all aliens, even in a peaceful way, that's not gonna. The world's still gonna be fucked because of the crazy Marlians and stuff. And aliens just gonna peacefully die. But I mean, killing Marlians, something else gonna happen. So you cannot change the world. World will always be some crazy stuff. Either everyone's gonna die, either something is gonna be always happening. But I think this is not the worst plan ever. In terms of dealing with the situation without bloodshed. But, as I've said, it's terrible that the whole race just gonna die. But it's gonna die without suffering. It's gonna just peacefully die. And for them, I mean, we always speak about people who lived. Marlians and everyone, they're remembering those times. Like, oh, you oppressed us, right? We're always thinking about them. But what's about people who live now? Because me and you and everyone, first of all, absolute majority of us, we think about ourselves. We want us to be happy. We want our parents to be happy, our children to be happy, right? People who live now, people who already died. I mean, it's done for them. You have to remember and love them, that's okay, but you have to think about you and about the future. So when we think about dealing with the situation one way or another, the current state in the world makes that people who live now, they suffer. Aaron suffered, Carla died, Erwin Smith, on the island people are dying. On the Marleyan side of the conflict, also Eldians are dying. And Marley is fighting, so everyone is fucking suffering now. Because something happened before, everyone have to suffer now. But we want to live now. And if the euthanasia plan is gonna work, then it's just okay. Some magic, and now you just live your life, guys. You visit Japan and visit some Jamaica and have fun. Live your life, and then you're just peacefully gonna die. The only issue is that you're actually gonna erase the whole nation, the whole race. This is a very difficult choice. But as I've said, I don't think it's a bad idea. At least if we're put in such difficult situation where there's basically no other way. People cannot speak normally. If they cannot fucking speak, then what's best? To die, or to die from being stomped, or to die from just elderness? And what's he said that people, children getting born and they're suffering. But this way, they will not be suffering. So, I don't know, man, Isayama... Seriously, that's what you're thinking about? I feel like I was speaking too much, but... about the same thing, but yeah. I feel like this is one interesting plan, and Aaron said he's okay with that. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe no. I feel like he may be not very happy with that, because he wanted freedom for himself and for his friends, for his kind. And I mean, yeah, you're kind of free when you die, but it's a different kind of type of free. So I don't think Aaron would love that, but I'm not sure. I mean, if I don't think so, doesn't mean he's actually thinks the same. So who knows? I remember him saying in the previous episode to Mikasa and Armin that we may deal with the situation without bloodshed or something. So I'm not sure what he was actually referring to. The dealing with the global conflict or just the table situation, from the previous episode. I'm not sure. But that might imply that he can actually be good with that euthanasia plan. It's just, the biggest issue is that we decide for other nation. I mean, we basically decide for our nation, but we don't ask the nation. Because if you're gonna be asked, how do you feel about just dying and not being able to produce children anymore? I think majority will answer, no, I don't like that. Because for some people it's gonna be like, okay, if it's not like I really want children, but for a majority there's gonna be, no, I want children, no, I want them to live, I want them to remember that. So this is a difficult choice. And then we see Aaron and Zeke speaking, and Aaron having memories of Grisha. And they are thinking about the same, that we have to deal with, and that's cool. So like Grisha is fighting for freedom, Aaron's fighting for freedom, but you guys with your fight for freedom, you're killing quite a lot of people on the go. So that's not the type of freedom, not the type of fight for freedom that people think of when they think of something like that. That's not heroic fight for freedom. No, that's tank moving on bodies to achieve some point when there's written freedom. That's a very fake freedom, and that's very forceful freedom. And they're not thinking about people who live now. They're killing people who live now because yeah, they want freedom for others. What about people you kill? What about their freedom? They didn't deserve the freedom, or what? That's a very, freedom that you're gonna choose. Oh, you will have freedom. Oh, you're gonna die. You will have freedom. You will have. You will have. You're gonna die. So this is not. This is not a real freedom. This is just picking who's free or not, who's not free. This no. And then, by the way, man, fuck, I already even forgot. What's up? What ended up with you, Zeke? He exploded. Zeke, he killed himself. I mean, I don't think he. It's just that spear wasn't inside Zeke's head, right? It was in his body, so yeah, it was a big explosion. But at least some part of his body is left, and I think he's kind of able to recover, because I mean, we saw people getting their fucking heads blown completely, and they were still recovering, right? So I don't think that Zeke's gonna die that easy. But what's bad that even Levi got into the explosion. I mean, of course, Levi is faster than bullets and explosions, but that may leave a mark on the man as well. But the most concern for me is Zeke. Is he actually gonna survive that? Because I can see... And poor horse, they killed the horse as well. I see Levi. He's in one piece, he's okay. But Zeke doesn't look like very much in one piece. And we end with that. Fucking great. Monkey's a dangerous son of a bitch. So, in the end, that was a great episode that showed us again a twisted nature of humans and people in this anime specifically, and the nations. And we saw some Zeke flashback that was very good and that was very appreciated. I still hate him and fuck him, but I understand him. Just like with many other characters. I hate Reiner and fuck him, but I understand him. And I somewhat even like him at some times. The same with Gabi. Fuck her, but I kind of care about her as well. This is Attack on Titan. This is the thing. I mean, maybe some people watch it and they're like totally hating someone. But you cannot be 100% hating this person or this person, because in Attack on Titan everyone has its moments. Even Zeklai, the twisted bastard, he had some moments in the court, and yeah, he was a nice fella as well. I just don't know how the hell Zeke gonna now survive the whole explosion thing. And I hope Levi's fine as well, because, yeah, the explosion was pretty damn powerful. And that's it, guys. That's it. It was not a big discussion in the end. I felt it's going to be a bigger one, but what can we do? Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode, which is going to be the last episode. I don't believe it. I mean, this is going to be the last episode of the season. But that doesn't feel like the end. It feels like a middle, to be honest. Nothing's happening. Nothing. No. 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 It's like too much stuff still there. So yeah. See you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.